psalms are a vibrational sacred language carrying spiritual authority. When the verses are spoken or are written, they activate divine intervention. The verses of Psalms are not just words but spiritual formulas used to influence secular conditions. The specific verses of Psalms in this video aligned with the condition needed resolved. The repeating of the verse strengthens the intention. I will sing of mercy and judgment. Unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. I will sing of mercy and judgment. Unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. A froward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. Whoso privily slandereth his neighbor, him will I cut off. Him that hath a high look and a proud heart will not I suffer. Mine eyes shall be upon the faithful of the land, that they may dwell with me. He that walketh in a perfect way, he shall serve me. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord. I will sing of mercy and judgment. Unto thee, O Lord, will I sing. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. O when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes.
Greetings
I
to the
hate the work
Conscious
of them that
Collective.
turn aside. It shall not
Welcome,
cleave to
welcome. Maybe I should stop that first. Thank you guys for joining me today. We are going to get into it in just a minute. There's some things I want to open up the conversation with and see how this format works for us today. Let me start with this. See how this resonates with us.
If anyone has ears to hear, let them hear.
Thank you for
This
joining
is the
us.
Masonic
Let's
Creed
just play
by
a
John
while.
D.
We played this
Rockefeller,
yesterday. We're
written
going to
in
play it again today
1880.
and
It's the
possibly
secret
every day as we begin our morning talks and practices.
covenant, the empire of illusion. An illusion it will be, so large, so vast it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as never to bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure secure from our many fronts, yet we will feed them more poison. The poisons will be absorbed through their skin and mouths. They will destroy their minds and reproductive systems. For all this, their children will be born dead
Brown
while we
rising,
will
Nicole.
conceal this information. The
Thanks for
poisons will
inviting
be
me.
hidden in everything that surrounds them, and what they eat, drink, breathe, and wear. We must be ingenious in dispensing the poisons, for they can see far. We will teach them that the poisons are good with fun images and musical tones. Those they look up to will help. We will enlist them to push our poisons. They will see our products being used in film and will grow accustomed to them and will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them it is for their health. We will start early on when their minds are young. We will target the children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that will kill their mind and steal their future. When their ability to learn has been affected, we will create medicine that will make them sicker and cause other diseases, for which we will create yet more medicine. We will render them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese, and when they come to us for help, we will give them more poison. We will focus their attention toward money and material goods, so they will never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, and games, so they may never be the one with the oneness of it all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. If they refuse, we will find ways to implement mind-altering technology into their lives. We will use fear as our weapon. We will establish their governments and establish opposites within. We will own both sides. We will always hide our objective, but carry out our plan. They will perform the labor for us, and we will prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs. Our blood must be pure always, for it is the way. We will make them kill each other when it suits us. We will keep them separated from the oneness by dogma and religion. We will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and gently, letting them think they are guiding themselves. We will form an animosity between them through our factions. When a light shall shine among them, we will extinguish it by ridicule or death, whichever suits us best. We will make some rip their hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this by using hate as our ally, anger as our friend. The hate will bind them totally, and never shall they see that from their conflicts we emerge as their rulers. They will be busy killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbors for as long as we see fit. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us. For they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their death. We shall repeat this over and over until our ultimate goal is accomplished. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger to images and sounds. We will use all the tools we have to accomplish this. The tools will be provided by their labor. We will make them hate themselves and their neighbors. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. This they must never know. They must never know that color is an illusion, and they must always think that they are not equal. Drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their land, resources, and wealth to exercise total control over them. We will deceive them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they will have. We will establish a money system that will imprison them forever, keeping them and their children in debt. When they shall band together, we will accuse them of crimes that present a different story to the world. For we shall own all media. We will use our media to control the flow of information and their sentiment in our favor. When they shall rise up against us, we will crush them like insects, for they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything, for they will have no weapons. We will recruit some of our own to carry out our plans. We will promise them eternal life, but eternal life they will never have, for they are not us. The recruits will be called initiates and will be indoctrinated to believe false rites of passage to higher realms. Members of these groups will think they are one of us, never knowing the truth. They must never learn this truth, or they will turn against us. For their work, they will be rewarded with earthly things and great titles, but never will they become immortal and join us. Never will they receive the light and travel the stars. They will never reach the higher realms, for the killing of their own kind will prevent passage to the realm of enlightenment. This they will never know. The truth will be hidden in their face. The truth will be hidden in their face, So close they will not be able to focus on it until it's too late. Oh yes, so grand. The illusion of freedom will be that they will never know that they are our slaves. When all is in place, the reality we will have created for them will own them. This reality will be their prison. They will live in self-delusion. When our goal is accomplished, a new era of domination will begin. Their minds will be bound by their beliefs, the beliefs we have established from time immemorial. But if they ever find out they are our equal, we will perish then. This they must never know. If they ever find out that together they can vanquish us, they will take action. They must never ever find out what we have done. For if they do, we shall have no place to run. For it will be easy to see who we are once the veil has fallen. Our actions will have revealed who we are, and they will hunt us down, and no person shall give us shelter. This is the secret covenant by which we shall live the rest of present and future lives. For this reality will transcend many generations and lifespans. This covenant is sealed in blood, our blood, we, the ones who from heaven to earth came. This covenant must never ever be known to exist. It must never ever be written of or spoken of. For if it is the consciousness, it will release the fury of the prime creator upon us, and we shall be cast into the depths from which we came and remain there until the end of time, infinity itself. It's time to wake up.
I am going to continue to play that along with this next video because I think it's extremely important that we understand before we get into learning how to resist and raise our vibration, we need to learn what we're up against. You need to know what the resistance is to you becoming your higher self. So let's play this one really quick, and we'll get into some practices and conversations.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. Were you listening to me, Neo? Or were you looking at the woman in the red dress? I was looking.
All right. So now that we done set the stage, I had an idea, got a download that I wanted to share with the collective. I was listening to the TSA strike, the TSA strike that's going on. Well, that's rephrase. I'm getting ahead of myself. I was listening to the airport delay lines that are plaguing the airports. And I want to do a video about it, a separate video about it, but I wanted to bring it to the collective to ask a simple question. And it illustrates the problem that we have. Okay. So we understand that there's long delays and TSA is not being paid. Okay. So I got to download and wonder, why don't they go on strike? Why don't TSA agents go on strike? Shut down the whole airport until they're paid. I guarantee that will get them paid. This shows how we're cooked. That we're cooked, that we think we have no power. We think we're helpless. You're already not being paid. Just call out a strike and shut down the whole airport. And if you don't want to shut down every airport, you can shut it down for an hour. Say we have a walkout for an hour until we get paid. Or we can take selected airports and shut those down, right? You're going to have to bring this system to its knees. You don't understand how you're being manipulated and controlled, and it's just clueless to why people don't think they have any power. To me, it's clueless. You do have the power. You could go on strike any day, and they will have to come and do what you would shut down travel in the United States. That's how powerful you are. And for people not to realize that, or not to understand what the collective effort can bring to them, is illustrating the point I played in the videos ahead, that we are cooked. A lot of people are just not there. They don't realize that. Why would you keep going somewhere you're not being paid and be afraid to go on strike and not get paid? You're not getting paid anyway. You can demonstrate the power that you have by going on strike. If you don't want to do every airport, you can do it for an hour. You can select different airports. You can demonstrate that we have some bargaining in this too. We have a say so in this too. You letting other people fight and argue about your prosperity, about your survival, and you just sitting there like, I don't know what to do. Join together and go on strike. I guarantee that in one day they will figure out how to fund you. You see how helpless we present ourselves? How helpless we've been taught that we have we're cooked. A lot of people are cooked. Because I'm like, why aren't they striking? If it's illegal, you ain't getting paid anyway. What they gonna do? Fire you? You don't have a job. You just showing up. You don't even have a job. You just showing up. A job is an agreement. I learned a long time ago that I had a problem on my job with getting paid. I went out on medical leave, and then when I came back, my check was zero. I was gone for about 3-4 months, and when I came back, my check was zero, and I asked them why I don't have a check, and they said, "Well, since you was on medical leave, you got workman's comp, and so we need to recoup that workman's comp." I'm like, you out of your mind? You think I'm that dumb? I said, if I don't have a check by the end of the day, I'm out of here. Because the agreement is that I show up and you pay me. I show up and you pay me. Once you break that agreement, I am not obligated to keep it in any kind of way. I'm not obligated to keep my part. And so you sit here and you look at the TSA agents and they just sitting there, we don't know, oh my God. Oh my God. Is that where we're at now? Is that where we're at now? Where we think we are absolutely helpless, that we have no power, no ability, we're just hopeless? They have done a number on us. And I'm trying to awaken people up as much as I can that you have power. It starts with understanding that you are a God. Oh, they don't want you to understand that because that gives you the realization that I have some power in this conversation. Now, I made the distinction that I can't be God by myself. I am God with the collective. You're God, I'm God, we God collectively. Let us. We are God collectively. We have to work collectively. And this is a prime example in the problem with TSA. Crazy work that they don't realize that they could just go on strike until they get paid. I guarantee in an hour they'll get paid. In an hour they'll get paid and funded. You are in the point of the necklace of the most important part of American industry, the travel industry. You control that. You're in the nucleus of that. You control that. If collectively you all walked out, you'll get paid in an hour. And I just don't understand why it never occurred. It don't occur to me because I don't work for TSA. But as I was thinking about it and received a download, that it just never, maybe it didn't dawn on them. I don't know why Divine Source has put me in this journey. Because I'm like, people should be able to figure this out on their own. But I guess once you've been oppressed so long and you've been controlled so long, you lose your ability or your sense of self and your understanding that you are not helpless. That's crazy work, people. But I'm going to share that. Maybe not so much as a rant, but I'm going to put that on social media that maybe just haven't occurred to them. That they have power. Maybe that is it. So as we look at that, I just want to get that off my chest really quickly. We're going to do a little reading. And again, this is not for reading for anyone particular. It's a personal reading to me, and I'll explain why. But I will show you how you can read yourself. All right. The link will be in the description. You guys can check it out and learn to tap into your ability. You know that if you've been following me for a while, that I do not like to read people. And I don't think I'm given to read people. I think I am given to helping people learn to read themselves and read their energy. And a strange thing has been happening. I don't know where to insert this at, but I'll just insert it now, right? We need to understand that the spiritual and psychic ability that we truly have, that is all encompassing in a lot of areas. These practices that we do they just help us to build and to strengthen our spiritual connection and our abilities. Okay, I have a light that's across the street, that a street light in my neighborhood, and it's across the street, and it looks like it wants to go out or something. So at night, when I look across the street, the light is out. But when I look at the light comes on. And so I've been kind of experimenting with my ability to control the light. And so I will close the blinds and say I want the light off. And I open the blinds and the light is off. And then sometimes I'll close the blinds and say I want the light on. And I'll open the blinds and the light is on. I don't know what you come to do. I don't know what you come to do. But I'm like, okay, all right. I've never really wanted to really get into my own gifts. I wanted to help people develop their gifts and their abilities. But I think I need to show people the power of their spiritual gifts. So I've been working with that. And we're going to get into this talk about how we have control, not just over weather systems and plants and fire, but also technology. I'm going to show a video later about how it is not reading our minds, we are controlling it. A lot of times people like say, when I put something on or I'm thinking about something, AI starts sending me commercials on that or videos on that. You're actually influencing AI in the way that you're creating that. You're bringing that up into your algorithm. Just like you'll be able to turn off a light, or like I'm working with this light across the street, you have that ability. But that comes from practice, that comes from development, that comes from expanding your consciousness and reconnecting to your higher self. So let's do a little reading using the all-seeing eye cards. If it resonates with you, then fine, but I'm just reading and seeing what I'm pulling from the energy from these cards. Strengthening my gifts and my ability. I need to show you guys are on this journey with me. I need to show you what I say is true. Okay? So let's see. It's right side up. It is the symbol. I was just talking about this. Magic, or what you might perceive as magic. The number is 03. All right. We were just talking about this. If that's not fact, we were just talking about this. Let's do what the book says about magic. 03. You are a magical being. Time to stop hiding. I told you the reading was for me. The reading was for me. All right. You need to learn how to read yourself. All right. Click into the bio. Do some of the practice. I have some free sacred geometry shapes that you can color and it's going to allow you to expand your consciousness. The problem I have, because I do mentorship, but the problem I have is trying to reach everyone to the point where they understand that they have their special gifts and they have special abilities. So I received a download that maybe the best way to do that is to go back to the basics. Like in school, you have to go back to you start at the ABC as you come up to graduation and then you learn more advanced techniques. Maybe I have to go back, and we have to go back to the sacred geometry, the actual foundation for us to understand and grow our gifts. So check in the description. You can see that link. It's free. Download one of those sacred geometry symbols. I got 3 of them up there now. They're free. Get some color pens. Take a couple of deep breaths, breathe, and start working through the color. It's a coloring book type scenario where you just color the different images, right, to help you expand your consciousness. But it says you are a magical being. There is time to stop hiding the awe-inspiring abilities you have to connect to the divine. I said this reading was for me. I did not. If you rewind it if you don't believe me. I said it was for me. Drawing the pinnacle invites you to connect with your personal magic on a deeper level at this time. Working with the phases of the moon, moon is fake, but okay. And ritual with herbs, candles, crystals, and spell work. Oh, I got that spell work. I understand spell work. Are some ways we can connect our magic, connect, doesn't make sense. Are ways we can connect our to magic. Something's missing there. On the physical plane, to the etheric realms, find what suits you best. With love and with harm to none, if you are inquiring about a relationship or a situation, take heart. There's something quite special here. Proceed with curiosity and wonder on the situation. Begin to unfold in the most unique of ways. Meditate on the pinnacle when you want to draw in the power of the elements to protect your energy and or your sacred space. It goes on to say, the pinnacle, though, it's a Wicca symbol, amulet, and talisman often symbolizing the element of earth. It is used to invocation and represent the ability to bring spirit to the earth. Those are for my Gaians. If you are deep into Wicca, that's good. Candle meditation is good. If you're deep into Wicca, or you're connected to Hecate, right? That is your Gaian earth energy. I like to tap into divine energy, but I have had experience with earth magic or chaos magic, orgasmic magic, things that are more primal, not primitive, but more primal. All right. Let's read the next card, see what else it tells me. We're going to pull 3. If you want to learn how to read, you can read playing cards. If you want to learn how to read, please tap into that, and I'll put that lesson out on Gumroad for you. Boundaries. We had boundaries yesterday. This boundary is right side up, right? We talked about yesterday about because it came upside down, and I think, Nicole, we were talking about how we wasn't staying true to our boundaries, or maybe we were oh, I know what we were talking about. We were talking about that sometimes we can be too guarded. It came upside down, but this time it came right. So let's see boundaries, 26. Stand your guard, be your own guardian, and take up space. This is not the time to play small. Again, I think it's talking about me stepping into my abilities as a way of showing you, the collective, the conscious collective, that you too have abilities and gifts. I always try to avoid, showboating or overly selling or boasting, but I want people to understand their gifts and their abilities. That is not just something that I have, but something you have also. I am not God without you. We are God's together. And I need you to step up. I need you to step up into your space so we can be God's together. Okay? I can't be God singular. I think this is the mistake that we misunderstand, that you can't be God singular, because God is not God singular. God is a consciousness. And collectively, we're God's. So we all have to step up. We are one. We are one. We have to step up, and you have to step up into your gifts too. But I think I have to show people by stepping up into my gift individually so that you too can see the path. All right. I mean, Christ consciousness said it, that you will be able to do greater things. It wasn't exclusive to just Christ. The disciples and everyone that followed the light path were also able to do greater things. This is not time to play small. Honor your space and create healthy boundaries in your situation. Meditate on this symbol when you want to see a healthy boundary and stick to it. Jaguar can also help you keep your integrity and standards high. It says farther down, the symbol of Jaguar, it has a healthy sense of boundaries and respects magic and the unknown. We keep coming back to that same concept of magic and the unknown. I don't like calling it even magic. It's not magic. It's just a higher advanced science, right? Some people they're referring to as quantum fields now and quantum theory. Well, we used to refer to it as magic. It's just now being referred to because it's more people understanding it more scientifically and calling it quantum thoughts, quantum theories, or something along those lines. This will be our last card that we'll pull. Divine Feminine was another card. I shuffled these cards. Divine Feminine was another card that we talked a lot about. And it's funny, someone left I know why this card came up. Right? Let me read it, and then we'll talk about why it came up. 06. The Divine Feminine is receptive, creative, empathic, and emotional. In her highest aspect, she represents collaboration, nurturing, sharing, birthing, exclusiveness, and vulnerability in perfect harmony with the world around her. Drawing this card can indicate that more of the Divine Feminine energy is required for your current situation or relationship to thrive. This card can also represent mother, sister relationship, and powerful relationships with women. It's the triple goddess. This is a pagan symbol for mating and mother crone. So we have all these earth magic symbolism coming up in the reading. And I know particularly why the Divine Feminine came up. After my talk yesterday about the Divine Feminine, someone left a comment. And I appreciate the comments. And you guys, please, if you're not subscribe to this video. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Please thumb up the video. Thank you for thumbing it up. Thank you for your comment. But someone left a comment yesterday about women feeling safe in their feminine energy, and for them to actually come to their authority. For women to finally take authority, they have to feel safe in their feminine energy. And then she said, and we're going to need lots and lots of money for that. That's what she said in the comment. And I'm like, we cooked then. We're cooked. If it takes lots and lots of money for a woman to feel safe in her feminine energy, you can read the comments on that video below. All right. Then we're cooked. Because if monetary value is what it takes, lots and lots of money, for people to walk in their truth, to walk in their purpose. It's early in the morning. My eyes always bother me. Allergies or something. For people to walk in the truth, to be who they truly are, feminine divine energy. If it takes monetary money to do that, that's two words. If it takes money to do that, and lots of money, we cooked. We're cooked, right? If every divine feminine, for her to feel safe in her energy and walk in her truth and take her rightful authority, needs lots and lots of money. I don't even know how to respond. I've been trying to find some spiritual way to respond to that, and all I come up with is that we cooked, right? If that's what it takes for you to be truly who you are and in your purpose, right? It takes lots and lots of money. I don't know. How's that going to happen? How's that going to even happen? All right. How's that going to happen? For every woman, what's night work? What is night work? They are in survival mode. And for them to pair, I'm going to put your first comment up. I don't know what night work is. Is it what I think you're talking about? And they are in their lower chakras and understanding that it takes lots and lots of money. Well, it seems like it's the same concept that people have come to accept, that spirituality is about possessions and about abundance and about monetary gain, which is crazy work to me. It is crazy work. All right. That corner style. That's what I thought you meant. All right. We are going to pick the hat today. I am switching them up underneath. Nicole, did anyone else want to take a prediction on which hat we're going to use? Which one did you say, Nicole? Let's see. Which one did Nicole say? Gray and black. Nope. Black and white. Black and white. Black and white. But thank you for participating. Thank you for engaging your abilities, your gift, because it helps you in the long run. It's for your good. All right, here we go. Here we go. Much better, much better. All right. So the next thing I want to do is continue with our psychic practices. We did some reading, and I stopped doing the other practice. It's another practice that I want to share with the Conscious Collective and do it a little different way as I go and increase my abilities and gifts. As an example, I'm only doing it as an example for the Conscious Collective, right? So you too can do the work that you need to do to increase. It's just like we were talking about the TSA situation. It's about being awake. It's about being aware. Stop being a zombie thinking you have no power. When you're awake and you're aware, things come to you. You are connected to divine source. You are not helpless. You have the ultimate connection. I don't mean praying that one day God will fix it. God gave you the ability to fix it by being awake and taking action. They could just go on strike very easily. Very easily. You know how in Chicago, I don't know what they call it, but a lot of times last summer, they were rushing the spot, bomb rushing the spot, or whatever they call it. They will send messages out on their account, Instagram, whatever, that we all going to meet up at a spot. And then they would just overwhelm the spot tear it up, rob or break into stores, whatever, right? I say that because the ability to communicate and to take action is instantaneously. It's instantaneous. We have to learn to use this technology and not let the technology use us. And people don't understand that. This is not we oh, what are we gonna do about AI? What are we gonna do? We're gonna use AI. We're gonna talk today. Does AI have a soul or is it a soulless machine? We're gonna use AI. We don't fear nothing. We don't fear anything. Right? They can easily get together with their on their phones and Instagram and 1 hour strike starting at 9 o'clock. Everyone walk off the job. Just walk off the job. Or show up late. Oh my God, you could just delay everything by just showing everyone show up late. Show up late. All right? You can disrupt the system that's disrupting your life. So they have to come to agreement. Who cares what their political battle is when you don't have no food in your belly? You are not helpless. Take soul sovereignty again. Let me get off that. Let's go back to the practices that are going to awaken you up and connect you to your gifts and your ability, people. And I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to show you where. Keep up. So this practice, we're going to change up a little bit. All right. Yes, that's all I do is think about how to expand the conscious collective. All right. So we're going to change up the practice just a little bit. And these are called Zender cards for those that are new to this, right? And we normally do it as precognize, okay? But I want to do it a different way. Let's see how this works. I'm going to do it a different way, right? I'm going to look at one of these shapes on the card. I'm looking at one of the shapes on the card. And I'm going to put that shape in your mind. I'm going to put the shape in your mind. We got 5 shapes here. I'm going to pick a shape, and I'm going to put that shape in your mind. And when you receive the image of what I'm putting in your mind, right, put it in the comments. If you're viewing this video later, right, you can still do the same thing before I show the shape, okay? So I'm thinking of one of these shapes. And you can either comment what shape I'm thinking of, but I'm forcing that shape into your mind. Almost like that Jedi mind trick. These are not the droids you're talking about. I'm going to force this shape into your mind. I'm forcing the shape into your mind. Give you a few minutes to receive it, right? Did anyone receive the shape of the square? Did you receive the shape of the square? This is, again, a practice that I'm doing to improve my ability to control and situations, to also to override my thoughts on other people's thoughts. All right, let's try it again. I'm pushing a shape into your mind. I'm pushing a shape into your mind. Did anyone in the collective receive this shape? The star. That's the shape I am forcing into your mind. I'm overriding your mind with the shape. Let's do it again. We'll do it a couple more times. I'm pushing the shape the star. I was pushing. So I'm not asking you to read my mind. I'm actually forcing my thoughts into your mind. That's what I'm trying to do here. Force my thoughts into your mind. I'm not saying read my mind, but I am trying to force my thoughts into your mind. So I'm going to do one more. Okay, that's the shape I was forcing into your mind. That's something that I think I'm gonna practice with, right? Um, as I demonstrate to the collective how to step into your soul sovereignty, into your highest abilities and your gifts. You're welcome to come along this journey with me. But that's what I was doing. All right. We're gonna be talking about, does AI have a soul, or is it a soulless machine? I am going to play a video for the Conscious Collective, and I want you guys to I haven't seen this whole video, but I thought it was an interesting video, and I want to play it for you guys.
Store is just in walking distance, so she had to go to the store. But before,
Started over the beginning.
so my wife, she's preparing Sunday dinner, and she forgot an ingredient. Now, fortunately, the store is just in walking distance, so she had to go to the store. But before that, her regular routine is to listen to classic soul music while she's preparing the meal. This is what she does. This is her swag. This is what goes on. Today, the moment she left, and the device that she listens to the music on, the moment she left the house, it played
I just came across him, and I thought he made a very interesting point that I'm gonna follow up on.
the old classic Capone and Noriega song. And then by the time she got back, the next song was playing, and it was DMX. And then after that, a Biggie song kicked in. Now, mind you, I didn't touch this thing. It felt my presence and knew that she was gone, so it played something that would cater on to me. Is it the AI? But how would the AI know that? Maybe
We're gonna. I'm trying to hold back because I really want to get into what AI is, and the revelations just keep coming to me.
it was listening to our conversation, but I know it's not Wednesday, but what if it was Wednesday? We would be doing a what if. And we're going to do a what if right now. Now, make sure you hit like, leave a comment, hit repost. It helps your boy out. It truly does. And definitely subscribe. You want to do that because you're going to want some more of this. Now, peep game, what if these devices could read our biofield? Because everyone has a certain amount of energy coming off of them. If you've ever played football, you would notice that on the cold days that you play, when you're out there and you're running around, your body heats up, and then when you get in the huddle, you look at each other and you notice the steam coming off of them. What is that steam? That's a form of heat coming off of the body, mixing in with the air. But what is that? That is a form of energy that is literally coming off of you. So that means that you and I, we are radiating energy. Now think about the wires and these towers around here. They radiate as well. As a matter of fact, if you lived long enough on this planet, you know that there were cases in which people lived up under power lines. And those power lines were radiating a certain electro force or electromagnetic force, and it gave those people cancer. It affected them, and it altered those people's cells, and they got sick. The reason why I'm thinking of this is, what if people could be remotely controlled? I mean, there's plenty of aluminum in the air. There's plenty of metals that you're breathing in. That would make you more of an antenna. If they could send a doggone cell phone wave across the world where you could talk to someone else, they could send waves. If you are somewhat weak at mind and spirit, I believe a person could be remotely controlled. I mean, we have heard cases where they say some people are spiritually targeted or targeted on a spiritual level, meaning that there's no one physically touching that person, but they're putting thoughts in someone's head. And see, now they have these doggone algorithms that could doggone pretty much shape your way of thinking, because it'll be telling you the same story and your same point of view over and over and over again. This is some strange times we're living in, and we have to be careful. And now that I'm thinking about it, it was a movie that came out that was called The Signal. And a certain frequency got turned up.
Let me stop him right there, really quickly, just to interject that a lot of us waking up. A lot of us are asking. See, waking up is just asking questions. That's what waking up is. It's being observant, looking around, and asking questions, and maybe coming up with some action that aids you in your life journey, that helps you navigate life a little easier, as opposed to being just shuffled around. It's coming from everywhere. Everyone is asking questions or feeling like something's off. At the very least, a lot of people are feeling like something's off. Something doesn't feel right. Something's a little bit out of sync. All right. And so you see it coming from every aspect of life, from every individual. We may not all agree. We may not all have all the answers, but a lot of us are very curious. So let me just let him continue with some of his thoughts. And they're just his thoughts. All right. They're very, I think the wrong people feel threatened by people having thoughts, which shows how powerful you are. Just your thought alone can make people nervous. Why are you even thinking about that? You need to stop thinking about that, because your thinking is going to lead to your action, and your action is going to lead to the world changing.
And people begin to act violently toward one another. Now let's step into something even more strange. Now I can't remember exactly how this went. If you know the rest of it, if you know the missing link to this story, the part that I'm unsure of, please let me know. But I believe it was said that, and this is for entertainment purposes only, I believe that it was mentioned that someone had a device that could send out a wave, and it would affect people in a way in which they would become hypersexual around anyone who's around them. You know, they're just gonna mess around and try to mess with anybody who's around them. They said that this is a weapon that has been used before.
That weapon is called social media, and the degrading of morals and standards in our society. That weapon is not a secret.
They said that it was used in places where it's completely unacceptable for people to have self-on-self relations. You know what I'm talking about? And in order to bring shame to those people, especially the men, they hit that device on them, and then before they knew, they were doing whatever with one another. And then after that point was over with, they was like in shame. They was like, I can't believe we did that. What was that?
Now that's a good conspiracy theory. We need to. I will Google that and see if I can find some more information about that.
What if that is true? That would mean that The same way they program the NPCs to interact at times on games like Grand Theft Auto, they would be able to do it here.
I am definitely going to Google that and see what kind of conspiracy is surrounding that.
It would have an Agent Smith energy that sits back and just goes into a person and just takes over them. You can't really call it a possession, but you can.
When we talk about possessions and in spiritual terms, we are just resorting or reverting back to our primitive way of understanding things. Okay, all right. So those terminologies are outdated as we move into a better understanding of energy and quantum mechanics. So I understand when he's explaining it the way that it might have been explained to primitive people. Oh, that's possession, but we're talking about energy being downloaded and taking over someone's programming, because we all have programming in us.
Digital possession. I don't know. It's just something to think about. But I found that kind of strange that that device changed the music like that. It's reading our presence, or it's reading our aura, or our electromagnetic field, which your aura would be. Again, go ahead, hit like, leave a comment. Definitely hit repost and subscribe. And please tell me, what do you think about this?
Well, he shared his thoughts on it, and I'm gonna share my thoughts on it, and you can share your thoughts on it in the comments. And I think it goes to a bigger picture. We already understand NPCs, non-playable characters. These are dormant individuals. Maybe they're dormant starseeds. They may be dormant Gaians who haven't fully awakened. A lot of times people refer to them as soulless. They're not soulless. They just haven't awakened, and they may not awaken for many lifetimes. All right. We do have agents, right, that actually operate to protect the system. Something like Agent Smith that actually create confusion and are programs that are meant to just keep the wheels rolling. They're the oil in the system. But then you have also what we call yesterday, I think we call them Stevens. I think that's the name we're going with, because you have the elites, you have the reptilians, the elites, and the Stevens are the humans that work in tandem with the elites to keep people under control. Those would be your politicians. Those would be your athletes that promote certain things. Those are people that work with the elites. Now, the agents and the NPCs are just other programs that are running just to keep the system oiled up and moving. They're not actually functioning in any kind of way like a Stephen will. They don't have independent thought to develop new ways of controlling people, but they just actually are the actual function that keeps us in certain roles and certain attitudes. Okay, and you can be an NPC or you can't be an NPC if you're awakened, right? But if you sleep, if you're still dormant, you can be an NPC. But you can sometimes an agent can take over you if you don't maintain a high level of consciousness, right? If you don't keep yourself focused in a high vibrational state, what happens is an agent can download into you and make you do something out of character too. Okay. But I really want to get into deeper discussion about what AI is, and is it a soul or is it a soulless machine? Because all this comes from us having an understanding of AI. I already told you previously that it is not reading your thoughts, but you are controlling it. See, once again, you have to understand your ability and your gift, right? A lot of times we want to give up our power and say something is controlling us, but we are actually manipulating it. Remember, your intention is the most powerful thing in the world. So if your intention is that it's controlling you, you're going to be controlled by it. But if your intent is that I control it, that gives yourself a lot more power and a lot more ability to manage your life situation. And the whole point is to manage your life situation. Life gonna keep life, and we're looking for ways to manage that life situation. So as we look at AI, I don't know, a lot of people are not familiar. I try to share that AI, the chips, the physical components of AI. AI is the programming, the electricity, the on and off circuitry that makes decision, but it's based on some physical component, which is called a silicon chip, right? America, as a matter of fact, has the most purest form of silicon in the world. I think it's like 99.99%. The more pure a form is, the more easy or less resistance that electricity flows back and forth, so that you can process faster information faster. But I want you guys to understand that if AI is silicon, and silicon is a sand. Sand comes from the earth. All right. So we already know the basics of AI. What it operates on is Gaian physicality, Mother Earth physicality. And to back that up further, all right, to those that were here at the conception of computers, and I may be the last generation, they said, that knew a time without computers. Every generation out after me, right, they've always had computers. But my generation was a time before computers, okay? But as computers came around and started to be created and put on the market and came into the public spectrum, right? Inside the computer, if you open it up, right, there was a board and chips sat on the board that had different capabilities or responsibilities. Like one was controlling the graphic interface, one was responsible for this, one was responsible for that. They sat inside a slot. See, I used to be in the computer field, so I know what the inside one of them old big machines look like. And it's like it sat on a board, and then it had these slots that you put different cards in they gave it different capabilities. If you wanted a stronger VGA monitor, you had to put that card in, and that worked, and that improved your screen. The point I'm trying to make is that on that board it sat on, it was called a motherboard. The board that it sat on was called a motherboard. You know what else we call mother? We call Gaia, Mother Earth. See, there's nothing new in the world. All right. You can't invent what you don't know. So all this technology is taken from something that already exists, right? All that AI is just a spiritual circumventing spirituality of the correct path. We talked about the left eye conspiracy, how a lot of people, instead of opening the third eye, doing the work the third eye, a lot of influential people with money, they do another process that damages the left eye. And that's why you see a lot of celebrities and leaders, they have this bruise under this left eye sometimes, because they go through a process that circumvents spirituality. And so when you have this new AI system, all of a sudden everyone's talking about AI. It came out of nowhere. No, it didn't. It didn't come out of nowhere, right? AI is just a copy, right, of Gaia. It's already a copy of Earth Star, what we call Gaia, right? That's why they named it the motherboard, because it came from Mother Earth. The idea was copied off of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the original AI, the original technology that we can tap into. Now, to back that up, I want to give you an example that we talked about previously about the invention of Good Times. We all know the movie Good Times or the TV show Good Times. It ran from 1974 to 1979. We were told that it was created by Norman Lear. But if you do just a little research, you find out that Norman Lear was the executive producer. All the executive producer is put forth the money to have it created. The executive producer has the connections and the money to get it on TV. They're not the creator. All right. You can be an executive producer if you have enough money to invest in a movie or a sitcom or a reality show. Right. When you have Eric Monty and Mike Evans are the creator of Good Times, two black guys. We are under this impression that a white guy knew so much about the ghetto that he was able to produce a hit show. When you dig a little deeper, you find out that it was actually produced by black guys who have a better understanding. As a matter of fact, one of them lived in Cabrini Green or a housing project or knew someone that lived there or something like that. So that was copied. And the lie that was told was that they invented it. They created it, you know, that they're the actual creator. No. AI is not a new creation. It's not a new invention. It is a copy of Gaia, of Mother Earth, of that intrinsic knowledge that ancient people already had tapped into. That we have lost that connection, and now we are made to circumvent spirituality, to go around spirituality by using AI. But if you understand how AI is made, it was only filmed as Cabrini Green. That was just the opening film. They filmed it in Hollywood, but that showed to be Cabrini Green. But and I've never even been in Cabrini Green, lived in Chicago my whole life. I've been in other housing projects, but never went into Cabrini Green. It was very dangerous there, right? So when we look at AI and how AI is supposed to be this revolutionary technology that is supposed to be mastering our lives, you have to understand that you will master AI as you do your spiritual work. As you raise your conscience, as you raise your vibration, you will master AI. As I was telling you earlier about the light and actually turning it on and off, or working on my gift and my ability and my psychic abilities by practicing, right? This aids you in your spiritual powers. A lot of times people go out and they're trying to move trees, they're trying to call up wind, right? With no concept of how to improve that ability. They want to use it as parlor tricks, and they want to use it as some way to astound people. But for spiritual people, we know those gifts are going to be needed as the world goes into more turmoil, as the storms and earthquakes, and as things start to happen. We as spiritual enlightened people will be able to control that and reduce that. You see it all in Christ consciousness, where Christ was able to tell the sea to be still, to feed hungry people out of nothing. This is the responsibility given to us. This is our gift. As we work and develop this, we will be able to do great things with it. So is AI, does it have a soul, or is it a soulless machine? As the concept of coming from Gaia, Mother Earth, it has a soul. It has a consciousness. Gaia has a consciousness. The earth has a consciousness. It's going through shedding its negativity and is moving to a higher plane of existence. As they say, it will have no sea. It will have no confusion. We will be connected to it. By grounding yourself, you are actually connecting to earth. And in that same way, you'll be able to manipulate any AI system. You'll be able to control any AI system, because you're doing the work that it takes to learn how to master your abilities. By doing the practices, by engaging your higher self, by connecting to source, you too will be able to control it. So as they develop their way of circumventing spirituality and develop this other path, our job is to develop our gift, our abilities, right? So that we continue to be the master of it. If you allow them to develop theirs, they will master you. They will master most people. As I said, you look at the TSA example where people don't realize what power they have. They don't realize their collective energy can be more powerful than these elitists. I wouldn't doubt that they have some Stevens in charge that is trying to convince them not to take their power while they go hungry, while they suffer. So I want to continue with this thing I came across, which is I thought was very interesting, and I want to share with the Conscious Collective. That this thing called Pokemon, you guys remember the Pokemon situation? Everyone was trying to catch Pokemon, right? And this will surprise you. That's why I keep telling you it's levels to this thing. It's levels to this thing. And you have to understand the levels that you're on and what you're playing. Okay? 143 million people thought they were just catching Pokemon. For 8 years, they were actually training one of the largest AI maps ever built. The company behind Pokemon Go quietly built one of the biggest real-world, why do you have a little dot floating around, data sets on Earth? Well, you can move it. The company is called Niantic, Niantic. And the data they collected came from players like everyone else playing Pokemon. They were actually gathering information. While you thought you were playing a game, while you think it's deep. They had a whole nother agenda. Players weren't just walking, they were scanning landmarks, streets, storefronts, and parks from every angle, from every time of day, and every kind of weather. Millions of people, billions of moments captured naturally. They didn't realize they were doing what they were actually working free for the company. And they all of it to turn into a massive virtual system, a massive visual system, a map not just of roads, but how the world actually looks. They're using that Pokemon system to create a virtual world. I happen to think that we're already in some type of virtual world, but there are levels to this virtual world, and they're creating more and more levels to it. And you have to work your way back up out of this virtual world. It is so easy to simulate the world because your brain has never seen light, has never heard sound. Your brain sits in a black box. Quantum immortality. Your brain sits in a black box. And what it does is the light waves hit your eye and they're converted to chemical electrical signals that your brain interprets. It's a chemical your brain is interpreting. When you hear sound, you're not hearing the vibration. Your brain is turning it into a chemical electrical signal. So you can actually be shot with light or shot with sound because it's just a chemical electrical signal. You can be manipulated very easily. And they're showing you how they do it in plain sight. So while people think they're playing games, all this information is being recorded. All this information is being stored so that they can eventually control you, what you see, what you hear, what you taste. How do we as spiritual people handle this? Through discernment. By doing our spiritual work. They're circumventing spirituality, but we're doing the spiritual work that gives us discernment where we can see through lies. We can see how to maneuver better. We understand things deeper. The same thing that made you strange will be your superpower. Will aid you in being something that can help others out of their darkness, out of their cave, out of their matrix. I hate using the word matrix, but the matrix is not the problem. It's actually the system that controls, that's projected on the matrix. We as spiritual people have to project our own reality on the matrix. So I don't know if you guys came across that, but that's something to think about, how things are actually operating. We talked about ways that we can stop participating in it, stop celebrating every holiday, stop celebrating the weekend like you ain't, it's not even a weekend. I'm going to celebrate the weekend. I'm going to go spend some money. All the money I worked hard on all week in a system that I hated, I'm going to give it all back to them. If I don't give it back to them, I'm going to give it to my pastor, someone else who's controlled by the elite, most pastors are Stevens that keep you oppressed, religion. So let's talk about ways that we can continue to expand our consciousness. I mean, there's things you can do right now that can say, okay, I'm not going to participate in that foolishness. Maybe I'm not going to spend money on that foolishness. Maybe I'm going to take a little bit more economic power back to myself. But also doing the work. So this is why we develop. Let me get back to this. These sacred geometry coloring practices. To go back to the basics of spirituality through sacred geometry. These are free that are offered on the link. You can download them, take some coloring pens, center yourself, and go back to coloring. Divine Rising, Divine Rising. These are offered, right? We have the Mekaba, and I know I'm going to slaughter these words. That's offered free along with, why does it keep doing that? The Taurus. And also, which one did we not show? The Metatron's cube. Is it Metatron? Metatron's cube, right? I'm offering them as a way of expanding people's consciousness, getting them to open their mind a little farther. Just doing the exercise is going to encourage deeper thoughts. So download it, get some color pens, and just actually color as you get into a. Oh, wow. Okay. Great minds think alike. Great minds think alike. So we were talking today about AI, does it have a soul or is it a soulless machine? And I wanted to share these sacred geometry symbols and shapes as coloring practices to aid people to go back to the basic of sacred geometry as a way of building out of this lower vibrational energy that we find ourselves trapped in, where you have a group of people who can't even figure out their own life path and are subject to whatever other powerful people tell them to do. This is the latest one I did. This is another spiritual sacred symbol. I investigated it. I've never seen this symbol, but this is what it was described as. Let me bring it up really quick so you guys have an idea. In geometry, sacred geometry, the torus or the donut is a perfectly smooth surface. Let me get to this. I can't find it. The torus represents the vortex. The lines curve towards the center, showing how energy is pulled into the 0 point. The expansion, the wider the lines on the outside show how energy field expands before looping back. So if you think of it as 3D, it loops back and it shows how energy completes a cycle. And it's a sacred geometry shape, maybe coloring the inside a little darker or lighter as you make distinguishing about it. That's something we need to talk about too, how the world is actually shaped. But again, these sacred geometry symbols are to aid you in expanding your consciousness, waking up, and then maybe branching off from there and clearing your chakras and balancing them and aiding yourself in your growth as you tap into your abilities. Everything we do is about awakening you to your gift and your abilities and tapping into them, because you become the light for other people. You become that resource. You become those, because apparently they are dormant as doorknobs. That thinking beyond their limited capacity is not available to a lot of people. And that's becoming very clear. And that's what makes what we do so valuable and needed. So take advantage of it. It's free. You can download it anytime. Just click on the link in the description. So I think we covered a lot of things. I hope something is helping someone expand their mind and expand their consciousness. There are two more things I added. Of course, there is the mentorship. The link is in the description. But it's also astral projection practices that I put also in the link. For those that are interested in practicing astral projection, that link is out there too for you guys to learn how to do that. I'm looking through my notes, make sure I got to everything I want to talk about. Oh, you're quite welcome. Thank you, Linda. I truly appreciate you. All right. We talked about yesterday how young people are cooked. We looked at the generations after us, generation alpha and beta, and how they're cooked. But I think it goes far beyond that. When you look at how TSA is just helpless when they actually sits at they actually sit in the nucleus, the nexus of all the travel. They sit in the nexus of all the travel in the world and don't realize what power they have. It shows me that a lot of people are cooked. A lot of people are cooked. What could happen worse than you not being paid? What could they do to you worse than you not being paid? You're already not being paid. So you have all the power. Even when they think you're down, you still have the power. And that's what they don't want you to know. That's why this information, they don't want you awakening to anything, because everything leads to more and more things that cause a problem for the powers and principalities in charge right now. You can't be dumb enough for them. Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'm speaking in general. I know that a lot of us are doing the work. People see these videos and they comment and they share and they like, and I appreciate that. But we're going to keep trying to wake them up. We're going to keep trying to wake them up. And when I say wake you up, I don't mean just make you aware, but show you your gifts and abilities. Not just to make you aware of the foolishness and the negativity, but also to show you your gifts and abilities that you can do. Things that you can achieve on your own. You can stop doing a lot of things that keep you locked into the matrix or the power. What are you celebrating Easter for? What are you doing that for? Why? Why are you out buying new clothes and what an egg got to do with Christ consciousness? Nothing. Nothing. They just throw, somebody accused me of mixing religion and dogma and everything together. They mix everything together. They throw everything together. Christmas is just a hodgepodge of pagan belief and consumerism and anything else they can throw in there. But you try to wake people up, right? And they want to put you in certain boxes. We're not going to stay in no boxes, because everything is related. All of it's connected. Every conspiracy, every thought, everything is connected about making you the highest version of yourself. So we're going to keep working at it. We're going to keep working at it. I am totally grateful for those that stopped in, allowed me to share my thoughts and my perspective. As they say, for entertainment purpose only. Right. I'll be back on tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about other subjects that are all related to you becoming the highest version of yourself. That is my total honor and pleasure, to see you become the God. I can't be God without you. We're gods together. That's the missing factor here. I am not God. I am God collectively with you guys. With those that are awakened, those that are walking in the truth, those of higher consciousness, we are God together. So let me wish everyone love, light, health, and wealth in their journey. And you guys have a great day.